Where are you people? Who loves to buy stuff? I mean, all kinds of stuff. Whether it's like, phones or jerseys, or if you're female, it's earrings or other jewelry, or, for me, it's books. I love buying books. Now imagine that, okay, that idea of things you don't really need, but things you kind of want, and people tell you that you want them, and then you're like, I'm in. Welcome to the 1920s, and welcome to consumerism. Here you are, freaking history, and let's talk about the 1920s. Got to remember the 1920s, extremely complex, but we're going to talk about the consumer and the innovations that happened during this time. Number one, you have to understand there's increased productivity during this time, and mainly due to things like the assembly line. Henry Ford, complex, anti-Semitic, but built great cars. He really perfected the idea of the assembly line to increase the production, because the more cars that were produced, that means each car costs less per car, which makes it more affordable. So as the workers stayed in one place, the line kept moving by, and they would do one job, whether it was turning the screw, a bolt, or attaching a piece, and they did the same thing over and over and over again. And then they got perfect at it and made it extremely quick. And so what happened is consumer appliances, things like, toasters. Oh, don't even get me started with toast. Tell me a sandwich isn't better toasted. Go ahead, try me. But consumer appliances, washing machines, vacuum cleaners, these were all made with an assembly line process. And then, because of these items, you had to find people to sell them to. Enter the advertising sector, creating a whole new business because of all these consumer items. Because you didn't have to spend all this time vacuuming your floors or washing your clothes by hand, now you had all this extra time. And what would you do with it? Go to the talkies. Maybe hit the phonograph. Okay, the talkies are the movies, phonographs are records, and so you would spend this leisure time in that way because you weren't having to work so hard washing clothes by hand. Now, one thing Ford also did is he raised the wages of his workers so they could afford to buy the car they were actually making. That made a lot of people upset, but what it also did is it gave people a standard of living where they could buy some of these consumer items that everybody seemed to want it, toasters. But here's the thing, this also is the era of keeping up with the Joneses. And therefore, if you couldn't afford to pay for it, no problem. You can buy it in installment plans and buy it on credit. Don't mean to foreshadow here, but buying on credit, you might as well just put an anvil around your neck. By the way, debt is bad. But let's go to the talkies. And what did that do but spread culture and pop culture throughout the nation? Add the radio, and now you've got goings on from around the country that you can hear right in your own home, or you can see in your own movie theater. And you can do those things, why? Because you're not spending all that time washing your clothes or vacuuming your floor or sweeping your floor with a broom, but you're using a vacuum, saving tons of time. And you got all that time because you listened to the advertising agents and the salespeople that said, you're just not good enough unless you have this item. Consumerism. Now you know your freaking history.